Good morning, boys. It's good to see you this Monday morning. I hope you are well, and I hope you had a lovely weekend. The hymn, Were We Together, I think would be 78 again, because I enjoyed so much hearing Mr. Reisinger play it on Friday morning and imagining hearing you say it. And in case you're finding yourself going, which one is 78 again? That's the one that begins, For the Beauty of the Earth. You will recall in past weeks, on Monday morning, I often give you a message for the week, something to think about as we start the week. So for example, on April 6th, I think it was, I urged you to be a help around your house, or to really be a source of help to others, not just thinking about yourself. The next week, on the 13th, I asked you to keep in mind that you must keep your bodies in shape. Even though you're probably leading a very sedentary, meaning seated life these days, you must do what exercise you can because it helps your mind work. Good for your body, good for your brain. And then last week, on the 20th, I urged you to think about how much you are reading, especially since I think we can all agree everyone is spending way too much time on the screen. On a less serious note last week, I asked you to perhaps think about making an excellent paper airplane. Well, I received some very fine submissions, boys. I had some sidewalk tosses, I had some park tosses, I had one toss that amused me to no end, in which a boy tossed it into his elevator, then cut the video so that then the plane came out the other end in the lobby, as if to simulate a very long travel down. Nice try. I got one that amused me to no end, in which the boy tossed it, it very promptly flew into a tree and stuck there. And then the boy said simply, "Loophole?" Question mark. The longest toss of all, however, went to a 5th grader, John Hurd, whose plane stayed up an astonishing 17 and a half seconds. If you are thinking to yourself, I gotta see that, I don't blame you. There's a link to that video attached to this message. So give it a look after this. All right, it's a large file that will take a little while to download, but you can see it in all its gliding glory. All right, time for a new challenge. And this challenge goes this way. One of the many things that's a shame about the spring is that all of New York's many, many glorious museums are shuttered, as are museums across the country and in fact across the world. And all of us have works of art that we love and we think about and we admire and perhaps think to ourselves, I wish I had done that, or you just stand in front of it and you are amazed. So some museums, boys, have started what I think is an absolutely brilliant idea in which you try to imitate or make some sort of imitation of your favorite work of art. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. This sounds very vague. Let me help. If you go to the Met, or if you could go to the Met right now, one of the paintings that people really love to see is this one. And this is simply called Madam X. It's a portrait by an artist named James Singer Sargent. And someone so loved this painting that this is what she did. Ready? How about that? Look again. The original, her pose imitating the portrait down to the last muscle fiber, right? Here's another example. This one a lot more silly. This, as I think you were aware, is the creation of Adam, which is on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. And someone decided they would do this. Isn't that funny? And here's another one. This is by an artist named Matisse. I think a lot of you know his work. And here you see a glass with some goldfish. And here is someone's imitation of this Matisse painting. Neat, no? I will send you all of these so you can study them in better detail, not on this crummy iPad just now. So here's the challenge coming up for the new week. Think about a work of art that you love. Maybe it's here in New York, maybe it's in California, maybe it's in India. I don't know where it is, but think about it. And then make your own imitation of this work of art in whatever way you choose. Right? Here you saw someone actually physically try to imitate a portrait. Then you saw another person actually arrange their dog and cat in an imitation of the pose in the painting. Right? And then in another, you saw someone actually just take their own goldfish and then try to recreate the scene with some plants. Sky's the limit. Have fun. If you think you've made something that is remarkable or beautiful or hilarious, email it to me by Sunday afternoon. And if I think there's one that's especially good, I shall send it along. All right? So there's your challenge. And more on this by email in case you're saying, I don't get it. All right? Ready to put in a good day of work? Good.